Hello, Coker. Hope everything's doing well. These are crazy times that we're in. Anybody tired of these things? I know I am. Hope everybody's doing well. Just wanted to share a little bit about my story. My name is Randy Strawser, and I'm a 1984 graduate of Coker College. I came to Coker in 1980 and was a member of the initial soccer team. I still remember early morning practices and running around in front of our coach's car as he was driving and we were in the dark. Oh, good times that was. Just wanted to reflect a little bit on my journey. Coach Griggs recruited me out of high school. I didn't play soccer that long, but was a pretty good athlete and came to Coker and played 4 years of soccer there. I lived in North Carolina, coached at Mount Olive College for 6 years, and then moved to California and worked at Westmont College in Santa Barbara, California for 8 years. And now I've been living in Grand Rapids, Michigan, coaching at Cornerstone University for 20 years. A long coaching career right there. I just want to encourage all of you to make the most of what you have. Make the most of the people that will invest in you at Coker. That's what was important to me. My coach, Tim Griggs, helped me and pushed me in a way that helped me to become a better coach and to help students along the way. Professors that I had that helped me, Dr. Swallow in science, Dr. Langley in physical education, Steve Terry in physical education. All of those individuals helped teach me and guide me. That has been valuable for my journey. The thing that I think you guys need to make sure you do is take advantage of the benefit of being at a small university. You have access to professors that are willing to help you, and that's what really made and molded me into the person I have become. I was fortunate enough to move on to graduate school at Appalachian State through the help of my coach to attain assistantships in both teaching and coaching, and that began my journey that has brought me here to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I feel very fortunate that I've had the opportunity to coach a lot of people over the years, and I've stayed in touch with people from my first experience, my second experience, and now we just had an alumni game the other day. Had some girls that came back from 2003, and it's always fun catching up with them and seeing their growth. So I just encourage you guys to make the most of the opportunity you have and really take advantage of the small environment where you do have access to professors. So I hope you guys have a great homecoming. I look forward to maybe one day coming back. I don't get back very much. I have 4 kids and a wife here in Grand Rapids, and I coach soccer, so very rarely have I gotten back for a homecoming, but I was back for Coach Griggs' induction into the Hall of Fame a few years ago, and it looks like Coker is doing well, and I just pray that you stay safe during this time and that you'll continue to grow and work towards being the best that you can be and go out and make a difference in this world. We need people that are going to make a difference in this world.
Hey, my name is Pat Brooks. I played for the men's soccer team at Coker under head coach Tim Griggs, 88 to 91. I was midfielder for my first 2 years and then left fullback my junior and senior years at Coker. 40 years of Coker soccer. Man, that's hard to believe. 40 years. Looking back from a legacy standpoint, it's actually pretty funny because we thought when we were there, I played the last 2 years of 1980s and the first 2 years of the 90s. Tim Griggs, we thought he was an old man, and he was probably, if he was 30, he was barely 30. And assistant coaches were Coach Al and Ricky Blanks, and we thought Ricky was an old guy, and he was in his 20s for sure. From a legacy standpoint, I think of not so much all the games, but more the practices, things like the old gym, the indoor tournaments, the smelly practice jerseys that never seemed to get dry and maybe got washed occasionally. We had the weight room that was also the training room closet on the back room of the Lawton Timberlake gym. And it's amazing when you look at the new facilities and a sense of pride that things have gotten so much better for the student athletes. But most of us wouldn't trade those times that we were at Coker. We sure had a good time. I also think about Coach Griggs and his affection for hard soccer balls and doing drills where he would try to kick the ball himself around or over or through the wall. And if your ball was not properly inflated, he would grab it with gusto and punt it as far as he could. And we all thought that was hilarious, but we couldn't laugh and let him know that we thought it was hilarious. I think of Black Sunday. That was a time when I guess some of the guys, I'd say myself included, we didn't give our best effort for various reasons on one game. So Coach made us run on a Sunday. We had a special practice, and he made us go till about the last man puked. It was a lesson to always give your best. And Coach was all about being a hard-nosed team, play hard till the very end of the game. And while other teams might have had better skill, he made sure as his focus that they would not outrun us, would not out-hustle us, wouldn't outwork us. And we had as many players, hopefully they still do it, the 6:15 morning runs from the middle of campus down to the end of the road and back. We had, when I was at Coker, a lot of players like myself who were, I think, well-suited for, I guess, Division II, or what they called when I was there, NAIC. We did have several guys that certainly could have played on a D1 team, but a lot of us were more your traditional student athlete. Well, we could have snuck onto a D1 team somewhere. We probably wouldn't have played much, and it was a better fit for a lot of us to actually be able to play Division II and contribute and really get a full experience of being a student athlete. Some of the legit players that were impressive to watch and be around, a couple of the older guys from our class, Mike Wallace, All-American, was amazing. The Van Deelen brothers were impenetrable in the back, super nice guys, quiet, but man, you wouldn't want to get sideways with them on a field. Coach also early in the 90s did a lot of international recruiting. Not sure how he did it, but he was ahead of his time there. From an international squad perspective, when other teams played us, we certainly looked different, and I'd say we were feared because of the speed and the touch that we brought. We had a couple that come to mind: Sheldon Brathwaite. We had Pedro from Brazil, Rick from Sweden. We had a Jamaican connection. We had Wayne and Juju and Billy. The guys also had colorful names. The guys that came just before us, Chili and Bird and Blue and Sun Bear and Scooter. So that was a legacy we looked upon and did our best to make them proud, from them being the Coker originals. Another thing that was special about the early 90s in Coker soccer, that's when the women's team began, and Coach was very smart in getting us to work with the female players. He had some also legit women's players, but a lot of walk-ons and tennis players that he turned into soccer players, and cheerleaders that he turned into soccer players. But he would encourage the guys to work and scrimmage and practice after practice with the women's team, and they got really good in a hurry. They were fun to watch, and Coach would have us serve as ball boys for the games, and it was seen as more of something to do to help and encourage than any sort of thing as a punishment. So he had plenty of volunteers for that, which looking back I think is really cool. Faculty would come to support the games. That was always something special to see them doing that in their off hours. I can almost see in my mind's eye, Kay Crook and Pat Lincoln, Frank Bush, Steve Terry, Dean Doubles would come out, and even President Daniels would come out, Ed Quilty, just a whole nice family fun atmosphere, and it was real special from those early years, and I'm sure it's the same now. I'd like to think that we built a solid foundation for the teams that are playing today. Again, hard to believe it's been 40 years, and it'll be awesome to see what the next 40 years brings. And it is apparent that the teams are getting better and bigger and stronger and faster, and at the same time having a lot of fun. But I'm proud to be, as my teammates are, a part of those early years, and look forward to seeing what the next 40 years brings.
I'm James Sweeney, a member of the Coker men's soccer team from 2009 to 2012. On the 40th anniversary of the founding of the program, I think it's important to reflect on its legacy as well as its future. Looking back on my years on the team, as well as those that came before me, I see innumerable great things that this program has accomplished. But I want to focus on three that stood out to me. The first is a sense of family that all teams have built over these 40 years. Strangers become teammates, and these teammates become best men, godfathers to each other's children, or simply the first call after an important event. This is a testament to the camaraderie that is built and fostered within the program and continues to this day. A note of the unifying feature over the 40-year history is that of tenacity, or to put it more simply, hard work. The teams that I was a part of always had a goal of being the most fit and the hardest working team on the field. This idea stretched all the way to the past of the program, and today it continues as the players work hard, even if they had to do so with masks. The final thing that I noticed that all Coker men's soccer teams share is shaping lives of its players and producing outstanding men post-graduation. Former members of the program have gone on to become EMTs and PE teachers and activists and Secret Service members, and one even got his PhD so he could come back and teach at Coker. This program helped build and support us, and it continues to teach us lessons that are invaluable in our lives after Coker. The Coker men's soccer team is 40 years old. I look forward to the success and traditions in the next 40 years. Go Cobras.
Hey everyone, Kendall Cobb here from the class of 2017. When I think about the legacy of the Coker men's soccer program, I think about that first group 40 years ago, who's some of the alumni I've been able to meet, and speak to and hear their stories. And I think about a team that started with very humble beginnings and, learning about Coach Griggs and everything that he was able to do for that program to get it going and get it started. It's incredible. And that group is truly remarkable. It's an honor to celebrate them here, 40 years later. Here we are in 2020, something good finally coming out of 2020. But the men's soccer team is truly a special group, for having, being a young program and looking at where we are 40 years later. It's a program that's truly marked by excellence. When I first got there, the men's soccer team had been coming off a couple of really good seasons with Coach Leese, with conference championships, national tournament appearances, national rankings. So I knew I was joining something that expected greatness. And, my time there obviously had a couple ups and downs. But when I look at the people that I got to play with, those incredible teammates that I had, that's where the excellence came from. It came from them. It came from an entire team, you know, a brotherhood together. And that's something that I think that has endured, you know, throughout these 40 years and will continue for the next 40 years. I'm excited to see where this program is going to go with Coach Michael at the helm. I think he's going to have, you know, a great success there. And it's an honor as an alumni now to continue to be a part of that and to help continue and to help spread the legacy for, you know, years when we're not even here anymore.